Hello guys, this is Ishmael from 90-Second Web Hub. In this tutorial, we are going to take a look at how to create a dynamic photo gallery using 90-Second Website Builder. To show you what I mean, I have a sample page open here. Now on all, it shows all the images I have here. Now when I go ahead and select food, this is going to show me only images with food in, as well as homes and then people. When you took a very good look, you realize the footer also changes position whenever we click on any of these options here. When I go ahead and select this, you realize the footer moves to the bottom. So let's take a look at how to achieve this using 90-Second Website Builder. So I have opened here 90-Second Website Builder. I'm going to go to my toolbox, and then the first on the tools I'm going to use is going to be the layout grid tool. So I'll click on it, and then I'm going to draw in here. I'm going to double click on this and then get rid of one of the columns. So I'll remove this and then change the alignment to center. I'll change the padding to the top to about 10 pixels, to the bottom to also about 10 pixels. And I'll go ahead and hit on OK. Now come to my toolbox, and then I'm going to go to the jQuery section. So I'll scroll to my jQuery section to use my jQuery buttons. So I have my jQuery section. I'll click on jQuery button, and then I'm going to draw here. Now I'm going to change the size of this to about 100 by 40 pixels. And then I'm going to move that into my layouts grid here. And I'm going to copy this and then paste it for about 3 more times. So I'm going to copy this using Ctrl+C on the Windows machine. So I'm going to paste it again, and then paste it for the last time. And then I'll move this here, and then move this here. I'm going to double click on this, and then I'm going to change the value, that's the label, from button to my to all. So this is going to be for all, and then I'll go ahead and hit on OK. I'm going to change this also from button to, let's say, homes, and then I'm going to change this to food. I'll go ahead and hit on OK, and then finally I'm going to change this to people. I'll go ahead and hit on OK. Next is to bring in a flex container here. So I'll come to my toolbox, and then I'm going to search for my flex container. So I'll click on it, and then I'm going to draw in here. I'm going to double click on this, and then I'm going to change the properties I have here. So flex direction is going to be on row, and then flex wrap is going to be wrap. Now the wrap is supposed to help us in situations where when we have spaces in between our images, or let's say we have an image showing here, and then there's a white space, and then there's an image at the bottom. The image at the bottom would automatically come to the right hand side of our image we have here. So that is going to be for the wrap, and then the justify is going to be center. Align items is going to be flex start, and then align content is also going to be flex start. Now I'm going to keep the maximum width of this to about 1024 pixels, and then the size can probably be undefined, so I'll leave that as it is. And then I'll go ahead and hit on OK. So that's for my flex container. And then I'm going to bring some images in here. So I'll come back to my toolbox, and then I'll scroll to the image section, and then I'm going to select images I'll be using. So I'll start with my food. I'll select a food here. I'll go ahead and hit on open, and then I'm going to change the size of this a bit. So this size is okay. I'll be able to have 3 columns here. So I'm going to copy this. Let me just use Ctrl+C to copy. I'm going to paste, and then I'm going to paste one more time. Now I'm going to move this into my flex container. I'll move this also here, and then I'll move this here also. I'm going to select these 3 images, and then I'm going to copy using Ctrl+C. I'm going to paste them, and then I'm going to move them into the flex container again, and then I'm going to paste it one more time and then move it into my flex container. I'll go ahead and change the images for each of them. So I'm going to change this to I'll come to my home section, and then I'm going to select maybe this. I'll go ahead and select OK. Let me just go ahead and come here also. I'm going to come here, and then maybe I'll come to my people section. I'll select this. I'll go ahead and select this for this section. Let me just go ahead and expand the height of this a bit. Let me change the let's see if I have a property here to be able to control the size of my image. Let's see if I can do something to my image so that it doesn't give me what it's giving me here. Okay, I think I won't be able to control that, so let me just leave it as it is, and then I'll continue to these ones. So I'll come here. I'm going to change this to, let's just come back here and then select maybe this. Let me just, instead of switching this to food, I'll come here and select maybe one person. Let me just select this one. I'll go ahead and select OK. Let me change this to I'll come here to the food section. So maybe select, I already have food in there, but let me just change it to this. I'll go ahead and hit on OK, and then I'm going to change this to homes. So let me change this to the homes. Then I'll select this, I'll click on OK. I'll come to the last section. I'm going to change this to, maybe I'm going to select this particular home, and then I'll hit on OK. I'll change this also. I'll come to the food section. I'll select this, and then finally I'll change this to a person, which I'll come to the people folder, and then I'm going to select this for this particular image. Now next is to build my footer. So I'll come to my toolbox, and then I'm going to search for the layout grid again. So this is my layout grid, and then I'm going to draw in here. I'll double click on this, get rid of one column, and then I'm going to change the alignment to center. The padding to the top is going to be 10, padding to the bottom is also going to be 10, and then I'll hit on OK. I'll come to my toolbox, let me clear my search, and then I'll come to the text tool. Then I'm going to draw in here, double click on this, and then I'm going to change the text to, let's say, about 10 words. And then I'm going to change the size of this to about 14 pixels. Let me change the alignment to center. Let me go ahead and change the color to white, and then I'm going to move it into my layout grid here, and then I'm going to double click on my layout grid, change the background color to solid, and then make sure this is something dark so I can see my text. I'll go ahead and hit on OK. So that is it for my text here. Now next is to bring in some code in here, configure my jQuery buttons as well as my image properties with some kind of property. So I'm going to grab the code I'll be using here. You don't have to worry about the code. It's going to be provided in the description of this video. So I'm going to come to the tool section, and then I'm going to bring my HTML object here. And I'm going to double click on this, and then I'm going to paste the code here. I have made the size a bit huge so that you can actually see the code I have in here. Now under type, I'm going to change this from use dev to do not use dev. Or let me just come here and then change this to between head tag. So this code is supposed to be in the head tag instead, and I can go ahead and give my HTML object a description. So this is going to be image gallery. I'll go ahead and then get one more code I'll be using here. So I'm going to copy that, and that is going to come to the resource section. So I'm going to click on resources, and then I'm going to paste that code here. So I'll go ahead and hit an OK, and then hit an OK. I'm done with this section. Next is to come to my buttons, and then I'm going to configure them. So I'll start with this one. I'm going to change the name to filter. Now the filter here is going to correspond with the code we have in here. So if you take a very good look at this code, we have filter here, which is going to correspond with our buttons there. And if you read this particular comment, you get an instruction on how to go about it. So that is what we are doing. So I'll come back to my button. The name is going to be filter. Now this is case sensitive. It matters if you have this using a caps lock on, having this to be a capital F, that is going to have an issue with your project. This is not going to run the way you want it to be. So just keep this with lowercase, which is going to be filter here. And then the button type is going to be radio instead of normal. I'm going to select this to be radio. And then the initial stage is going to be checked because this is my first button, which is going to showcase all my objects I have in here. I'll go ahead and hit an OK. I'll come to the homes. I'll change the name to filter. The button is also going to be radio button, but in this case, this is not going to be checked because this is going to come after the first one. So I'll leave this here. I'll go ahead and hit an OK. Repeat the process for this. This is going to be filter, and then I'm going to change this to radio, and then this is going to be not checked. I'll go ahead and hit an OK. Repeat the process for people. This is also going to be filter, and then this is going to be radio. This is not going to be checked, so this is going to be not checked. I'll go ahead and hit an OK. Now there's one more property I'm supposed to add to the images I have in here. So I'll right click on the image, and then I'll go to object HTML, and then I'll come to inside tag. Now I'm going to enter some code here that you can also copy and paste and use it in here. So the code is going to be class, and then I have equal to sign, and then I'm going to bring my quotes, that's the double quotes, and then I'm going to type filter. Now the filter is also going to correspond with the property we have in our HTML object here, or the HTML code. So I'm going to bring a space, that's a white space, and then I'm going to type a name of the category I have. So because I'm starting with the food, I'm going to type food here, and then I'm going to close my quote. Now let me just copy this code so I can reuse it. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to hit on OK. I'm going to right click on this, come to HTML object, I'll come to inside tag, I'm going to paste this, and then since that is going to be in the house category or the homes category, I'm going to change this to homes. I'll go ahead and hit on OK, and then I'll right click on this, go to object HTML, inside tag, I'll paste this, and this is going to be for people. I'll repeat the processes for all the image objects I have in here. So I'm going to come to this one, let me come to inside tag, this is going to be people. I'll go ahead and hit on OK. I'll change this to food. So I have food already copied, so I'll paste that here. I'll go ahead and hit on OK. I'll change this to home. So this is going to be homes. And then I'll go ahead and hit on OK. I'll continue with this one, so I'll change this to also homes. And then I'll go ahead and hit on OK. Let me go ahead and change this to food. So let me paste my food here. I'll go ahead and hit on OK, and then I'm going to change this to people. So I'll go ahead and change this to people, and then I'll go ahead and hit on OK. Now I'm done with everything. Let me go ahead and preview this in my browser. So I'm going to preview this, hitting on the preview icon, and as you can see, I have my page here. Now when I click on this, this shows me the images which belongs to the homes category. When I go ahead to food, it shows me the same thing, and then when I come to people, it shows me the same thing. Now when you come back to your project, you can control the colors of your buttons here. You double click on it, you come to the style section, and these are faded out because we are using jQuery UI theme. We can just change this to false and then change the colors we have in here. Now if you want to change the color straight away from the UI theme, let's just leave this on true, hit on OK. What we can do is to right click on an empty space on the page, and then go to page properties. Under page properties, we go to the style section, and then when we come to the bottom, we have theme. So this is the theme we are using. When we change this, this is going to apply to our buttons here. So let me just go ahead and select this, and again, as you can see, it is applied to our buttons there. So I'll undo this and then stick to the normal ones I have in here. So that is it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.